in the speedrunning community. Emulator usage is considered especially heinous. On Twitch.tv, the dedicated Melvins who play these games are members of an exclusive squad known as the Elite Tournament. These are their races. Hello everybody and welcome to the Elite Tournament Season 6. This is week number 6. I am Hans Buttface. Being week number 6, that means this is the first round of the brackets, the semifinals. Let's get right into it and see what our matchups are tonight. In the upper deck, we have Coach Crab 127, the number 1 seed out of Group Donald, taking on the number 2 seed out of Group Mickey, Bentglass Tube. The number 1 seed out of Group Mickey, D-Pad Danny, will take on number 2 seed from Group Donald, Buzz Thunder. They are playing for the Elite Championship, win and move on to the finals, lose and go home. Over in the Cesspool, we have number 1 seed Unos XX from Group Elsa, taking on number 2 seed Jam Eviler from Group Mater. And then number 1 seed Dark Magician 1184 from Group Mater, taking on number 2 seed from Group Elsa, Edge Stream. The winners of these matches will go on to the Cesspool finals, but will also ascend, float, be promoted to the upper deck for next season. They will take the place of 2 people who are in the relegation race. The relegation race and the bracket finals will be shown next week. But as for this week, we're going to start things in the Cesspool. Unos versus Jam. Let's take a look at how they got here. Unos went a perfect 4-0, improving in every single race during this tournament with a tournament best 10-11 in his last race against Redbird Grad. Jam finished up at 3-1. He lost his first race to Dark Magician in what would be his best time in the tournament, 10:41. Then he defeated a couple people who did not have such a good time, and one person who didn't even finish the race. But for the call of Unos versus Jam, we're going to go down to Buzz Thunder and Dark Magician.
Thanks, Hans, and welcome everybody. This is the bracket round of the Elite Tournament for the lower half. I don't remember the name of it. Buzz?
I believe they're called the Cesspool. Oh, geez, what was that? Was that you?
No, I don't know. I assume it was from the video. It sounded almost like Unos.
It sounded like I have to turn off my mic for this. Alright, so this is a game that we're playing, and this is an important one because there are some rewards and fame, and I think there's a cash prize if you win this one. What happens to the winner of this race?
Something about these guys will play somebody else to have a game selection or something of that nature?
Yes. Well, the way that it works is this is the semifinals. So we have the 4. This is the cream of the crop, the top of the cesspool. The 2 of these 4 that are in the last ones will be the floaters, and they get to go up to the other group of people, which is actually, honestly, the way that this thing is gone. I feel like there's more competition in the cesspool this season than there is in the upper deck.
We had a good group, I think it was Group Mickey, where everybody was placing really well.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was decent. It's not like there wasn't any competition. It's just that the whole Unos is kind of, from my point of view, has stolen the show with his, new tech and breaking world records and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then Link is contributing to the task, so all that's coming from the cesspool.
Well, he's not a cesspool guy. No, Link's in the top.
Oh, is he? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Link is the guy. He's more highly decorated than Coach Crab.
Yeah, his task was top notch and really pushed the bar on this world record, as far as I know.
Yeah, I mean they took things from that, and then things went back and forth, and then we found this candle skip. It's just it's been an interesting progression of this game and how it's worked out. But personally, yeah, I'd rather not play this game, to be honest.
I think that's how Yunos feels too, despite the world record. Is he's at the point where he doesn't want to play it anymore. He can't improve it anymore, so why?
Right, yeah, I mean, it's at the point where it's like, oh, that was a bad question, you know, I have to reset there because there were too many characters on the screen, you know, it's like ridiculous.
So it appears that Jam is still doing the old route in Space Mountain, if I'm not mistaken. He seemed to get a little bit extra. There's one of the forks that if you go right, then you get 2 extra moves that you have to put in.
Is that really a thing?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Oh wow, yeah, it sounded like you were making it up. So coming out of there, Yunos has a little bit of lead. This is a good race. These are the guys who should be racing Legend of Zelda. I mean, really 2 like top-notch players here.
These 2 guys could race any games. I've seen Jam put down times in like Wizards and Warriors, and
yeah, he has a lot of like kind of obscure records, like kind of really short runs that he likes to do.
and yeah, that's not to say that nobody runs the game, so he has the world record, and he really puts the time into those games too.
Yeah, for sure, like that, and Blaster Master, another one.
But yeah, we have these 2 guys coming through here, collecting as many stars as they can throughout Autopia, so that they can use them in Pirates and in the Ghost House.
Yeah, and then again, that's another big progression on the record. Everybody's been doing these freeze strategies instead of invincibility, so kind of everything is... Yeah, I mean, you could tell that the world record wasn't really... You know, in a game like this, it's kind of like... You know, there's usually one good runner that was out in front. Anybody who ran the game for a little bit of time, but now his time is, yeah, not so good anymore. Basically changed a ton of aspects of it, so... Yunos has a solid lead here, say about 5 seconds, give or take, but you never know.
Yeah, it could all come apart very quickly, especially since that first Ghost House will just destroy your run.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's going to be risked in a race situation, but yeah, that's going to be the worst part of the game, as far as like if it just doesn't spawn at the end of the level. It's like, what are you going to do, you know? Just aggravating.
Yeah, I'm glad to find out that, going back to Link in the task, that he found out that it only spawns when you're actually scrolling the screen.
When I first played it, I killed him like 3 separate times, but it just wouldn't spawn the cutscene for me. Because because I kept like kiting him around the screen back and forth and stuff like that, and then if I killed him, I think I was too far to the right side of the screen, and when he died, it didn't read me as killing him, and then he would respawn again. So I was like, what's going on here? I just thought it was like stuck.
Yeah, the first time I played, I was scrolling the screen, like I walked to the right thinking that you just had to exit, and I never got him to spawn for a good 10 seconds.
Yeah, you kind of really, you don't have any direction there, and that's just really weird that if you kill him off the side of the screen, that it's like, well, yeah, you didn't kill him anyways. It's almost like he didn't even spawn. So here we're gonna have Yunos with the gold throwing skeletons.
Skeleton waifu.
What was that?
The skeleton waifu, the best waifu.
Oh yeah, I guess. I mean, that would be... There's a lot of friction with a skeleton, but nevertheless, Yunos working those freeze strats and going through, and we'll see if he's gonna try the. Well, again, there's always a new tech being discovered in this. Looks like this might have been the point where we didn't even know there was a a candle skip or whatever it's called.
I believe he went for it. It looked like he threw the candle, but he didn't touch the ground properly.
And he's not going for the crazy ghost skip at the beginning there. Got to be safe in the race situation. But a pretty commanding lead for Yunos as he does go into the ghost house. And there is a lack of... I don't see Ganon's room in the background like you usually do at this point.
Yeah, I think the chroma key's turned off, unfortunately. But we do get these very pleasant watermarks on both these racer screens.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, is that how you know it's like an authentic stream? Like, is that what it, like how you give like, you give the broad at the cash register a 20 and she like rubs a marker on it to make sure it's not counterfeit? Is that like
something like that?
Is this the equivalent of like a watermark?
So the birth of it actually is, it's a serious issue with what IGN was doing with their YouTube channel, was stealing players' content whenever somebody would get a world record.
Oh.
And so people started putting obscure watermarks or some kind of telltale sign on their work.
See, that's how you can tell these guys are serious runners, because they have potential of their runs being claimed as somebody else's.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I don't think anybody's coming near my stream for that kind of stuff.
Don't sell yourself short, but
yeah,
you never know when somebody might need a golf stream.
Somebody's like, yeah, man, I don't know. I had a really good round of PGA West the other day. Let me show you. Watermark free.
It was on Knob Lake course?
Yeah, exactly. There's just a lot of cursing in the background. That's all there is.
Man, that was a very long ghost spawn for Yunos. Hopefully it doesn't cost him.
Yeah, if he continues mistake free, I mean, he's got a stranglehold right now. But yeah, that was unfortunate. Won't be able to get a top-notch time there.
And we got Yunos, or we got Jam entering the ghost fight now. Let's see what he gets.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more favorable. You get him to go up in the air, have to jump around a little bit, took a damage from him, but car wash.
Car wash.
Well, Jam doing okay, but this is Yunos' race to lose. There's our tornado question. That was the first question that Yunos got.
Was it Yunos? I think Jam got that question twice, actually.
I don't think that's possible.
We'll have to check the tape.
Yeah, we'll have to check the tape. I'd be surprised if programming for a game of this caliber was that sloppy, that they would reuse trivia in the same run.
We got gate 4 for Yunos. I didn't catch what Jam's going for.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. Looks like it's really tells on the home stretch here. Just kind of hug the right side.
Wow, look at this time for Yunos.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. I mean, I don't know if that's the best in the tournament so far. I know we've had a couple in that range, but yeah, that's, I mean, really all of that is the ghost not coming through.
Yeah, he gets that long arms 10-13, but unofficially it looked like a 10-08.
Yeah, it certainly did. And again, we're going by SRL, so yeah, his timer might be a little bit different. Okay, yeah, the 10-13 is solid, but I just heard in the ear from my producer that he did have a 10-11 earlier in the tournament, slightly better time.
And Jam comes in under 11.
That's great. Good stuff right there.
I think Jam is enjoying his Melvin hat.
That's incredible. I mean, 10:52. It's a decent time. Anything sub 11 in this game is worthy of a race. As far as if somebody makes a mistake, you never know. But
yeah, I mean, it's not like it's a 10:36.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Not like that at all.
Could you imagine getting a 10:36 average in this tournament?
Could I imagine it? No, I don't know.
I mean, that's such a bad time.
Well, you never know.
But yeah, so Jam represents Team Mater very well. Unfortunately, he's not going to advance.
Yeah, I mean, great showing his first time in a tournament. I mean, both of these guys are newcomers to the tournament. Dominating, but he will be guaranteed to float, and he will advance into the the winners race. Who does he potentially face? Do you know? Yes, either Dark Magician or Edge Stream he will face. So thanks for playing, Jam. You did very well, but didn't have what it to take down the guy with the world record here, so he will move on.
And congratulations to Unos XX. With that win, he'll be moving on to the Cesspool Championship. But more importantly, will be joining the Upper Deck next season. Who will join him in both the Upper Deck and the finals? That comes down to this race, Dark Magician versus Edge Stream. Dark Magician did finish a perfect 4-0, posting his best time in his first race in the tournament, then had quite a bit of a hiatus due to Puke 7's lawsuit and his bye week. Lost a little momentum and came back with a respectable time in his last race as well. Edgestream finished up 3-1, needing to win his last race in the tournament to move on to this match. And we'll see who wins this match right now. We'll join BGT and Justin Man 114.
Hello, everyone. I am BentGlassTube, and I'm joined by Justin Man.
Yo, yo, yo.
Got yet another semifinal match here between Dark Magician and Edge Stream. Who's your pick to win this one, Justin?
Should be a good one. I don't know. I'm not really good at picking, man. Put me on the spot here. If I guess I could flip a coin. Do I have a coin near me? I do. I have a quarter. Hold on, let me flip it. You want to call it?
Yeah, I'll call it.
All right. I'll go with heads, Dark Magician, tails, Edge.
Okay, so you're calling it.
Yeah, I guess I'll call it then. All right. Tails.
What are you calling even? I think
it landed on tails. It's far away from me.
I think I'm confused about your coin flipping thing. But anyway, these racers are doing a Space Mountain, so we're gonna just talk about Justin Man's coin flips here. So you said tails.
You gotta keep it entertaining, you know. This is pretty boring stuff here on the screen.
Yeah.
So just until we get out of Space Mountain, at least.
At least we have DM's nice overlay to look at here.
Yeah, the chroma key works nicely on this level here.
But yeah, so this should be actually a good match, you know, jokes aside here. Both of these players trying to ascend into the upper deck next season. A win here would guarantee their ascension.
Yeah, both these guys good showings in group play. And these are where the races are going to start getting a little tighter, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we'd hope so. At least these last few races, last couple weeks, I guess, of the event should be the best of the best. Although I think there's also the sinkers race, which maybe is not quite the best of the best.
I haven't even seen if anyone's taken any hits, but I'm going to assume they're both okay. We're almost out of here.
Yeah, I think Edge took one, but yeah, it's no big deal.
And And then
How
we
many
can
times
see...
playing this have you taken a hit from the very last thing on Space Mountain and then just let
and lost because of it?
Yeah, just like
yeah.
not in a race, just like in a practice or something, and just like turn the NES off.
I mean, I
Just
actually
no-
did that in one of my races. I forget which one it was.
Oh, man.
But I did do that in one of my races. I think it was either the week 4 or 5, but I've probably done it a few times, especially when I first was learning it. I didn't realize there was a pattern, so it's just going off, reaction, and yeah, it gets a little tough by the end there.
It might actually be like a fun mini game if there was, if it was reaction based. But I think it's like 5 times as long as it needs to be.
Yeah, it's way too long, and that's probably what makes it annoying, because looking at that screen for that long, it just bothers me. Maybe make it like a minute long.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like Dark Magician got out of Space Mountain a little bit ahead of Edge. Their Autopias are going fairly similarly here so far.
Yeah, we just hope to not see any deaths, really.
Yeah, especially at this stage of the tournament, like a death in this game will cost you, a minute or so, depending on where in the stage. And at this level of competition, it'd be very difficult to make up a whole minute.
See both riders kind of hitting some walls and whatnot a little bit, so I don't know how much anyone's gaining or losing here, really. It's probably going to be about the same.
Yeah, I think Edge lost a little bit of time on there, but I wasn't paying attention too much.
Yeah, that might be, I didn't look at the timer, but maybe about 10 seconds or less.
Yeah, DM got a really
Difference
good
here.
question for that first one.
That second one was not so good.
No, but at least he got it right. That's another thing. Missing a question is like 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah, that's no good. That's what Edge is hoping happens right now, so he can catch right back up, it looks like.
And Dark Magician
And
This is
he
it.
does, yeah.
evidently has never heard of Goofy before. And now
Alright,
they're only a
so-
couple seconds apart.
Yeah, just about 2 or 3, something like that. Going into the pirate stage.
We're gonna have to give DM a hard time about that. Who doesn't know that Goofy's a dog?
Maybe his finger slipped, or I don't know.
That's true. I've
Or maybe
definitely had
he
that.
had
where, like,
malfunction even. Blame the controller.
yeah, I've had ones where I press the down or up too early, and so it doesn't register, and
Yep.
I'm already mashing, to select, and then that's no good. We'll see what kind of power-up strats both of these players like to use. There's been some difference in strats starting in this Pirates level with how people want to approach things. Like Edge taking it kind of slow through the cannonballs, and I think DM used 2 power-ups there, probably by mistake.
Yeah, I didn't see if he actually used the one by mistake. He definitely moved over to the right.
Yeah, I think he's down to 8 stars, so that's going to be the end of his power-ups for now, I think.
Yeah, he'll save the rest for the mansion.
Ooh, Edge trying to go with the free strats
Ooh.
and taking the toe on the invisible skeleton. That's the risk with those. With the free strats is you got to know exactly where that guy is.
Yeah,
'cause-
you still gotta jump over him, right?
Yeah, and there's no sprite for him. The visual indicator is that little blue gemstone, but it's quite small. Easy to mess up that trick.
Yeah, I've not tried the freeze there yet. Just stuck with invincibility.
Yeah, the freeze is it's certainly more of a PB strat than a race strat. So that'll unfortunately put Edge a whole level behind.
DM looks like he went for the task jump there and jumped right into the big boss man, unfortunately.
Yeah, with the miss menu earlier, he doesn't have the stars to
Yeah.
do the safe strats here either.
Well, to be fair, he might have. Does he have enough by now to do it? But I guess then he wouldn't have any for the boss.
Oh, there's plenty to like get for the boss, but you have to have 10 going in to
Yeah.
into Ghost Mansion.
I just
Looks
didn't know
like
if
Edge
you
fell
grabbed
in the
any
same hole
more.
again. Yeah, I think even if you just walk and don't try to get any, you get like 7 on the way to the boss.
Edge taking that damage boost. Not sure that saves time. But at least it
It's
wasn't
swaggy, though.
backwards.
DM opts to not take the Unos chair strats there. Waits patiently for his chair to show up.
Yeah, I think he spawned it early unintentionally there.
Alright, let's see if Edge can make it through this time. He freezes
Oh.
way too late and the coin is blocking his jump.
Oh, took another hit and that's a game over.
Ouch. Well, he had, I think, burned through most of its stars, so it's really just the walk back to the pirates
True,
at this
yeah.
point. But DM is practically out of the Ghost Mansion.
Yep. Past the book section, just got the boss.
Oh yes,
It
DM
is.
with the crazy dancing to spawn the boss.
Seemed to work pretty well. Wasn't like a
Car
perfect
wash.
spawn, but I like how you can see his little thing in the doorways.
Yeah, so this is going to be pretty remarkable if Edge can pull this win out.
He's gonna need DM to go to the wrong station about 2 times at least, I would say.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit. I don't think I've seen DM do a wrong station. I know like Link Sevens always forgets to pay attention.
I've done that before too, yeah. I actually did that in one of my races too. Only once though, fortunately. But I did not get lucky and pick the right one, so.
Yeah, it's kind of a question. Like if you realize you don't know which station you're supposed to go to, do you just take the 1 and 4, or do you just crash as soon as you can to restart earlier?
Well, DM arrives at station 4. He's got his key.
Edge going for the Larry light there, but a little
New
too
tech.
far to the right. All right, we just need that sinkhole for the race to be a race again, but unfortunately for Edge, no sinkhole.
Yeah, nothing you can do. I mean, at that point, all he had to do was answer a couple questions, and yeah, he takes it home with a 1040. Pretty good time.
Yeah, that's not a bad time at all. And that secures Dark Magician's spot in the upper deck next season, I believe. And Edge Stream will have to try again next season. But hopefully we can watch him, not struggle as much on Haunted Mansion here as he did in Pirates.
Yeah, it's hard for me to decide which of those levels is tougher. I would probably, for me, it's just because of the book section in this level here. I think
Yeah,
that's
the
where I
book
struggle
section-
the most.
If you stand really far to the right on your chair, the book section is not that difficult. Like there's only one that you kind of have a small window for.
Yeah, that's the one I like doing the most. I've tried a few different methods, but I always feel like at one point I'll get I'll get an input eaten or something, or press it too fast and book the double book.
Yeah, the double
Gets
book.
me.
Now, if you stand like with a whole foot off the right side of the chair, the double book thing won't happen because
Yeah.
the first book will spawn too early.
I think
or
I'm always
activate
scared
too
of how far I can actually get out on that chair. I want to fall off.
early.
Oh, and he
Speaking
takes
of
a
double
book.
books,
Yeah.
It is kind of amazing how far you can stand off the chair. Like,
Yeah, I think it's probably just a pixel or two of your heel, I'm guessing.
yeah, good old NES hitboxes.
I think Edge was just doing the middle of the chair there.
Yeah, I think he threw his first candle a little too early for the double book. If you look over on Dark Magician's side, Long Arms appears to have invisible pants, and we can see the watermark right through him.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Long Arms was an incredible revelation to me last week, but this is even,
Yeah, I can't
even
really
more incredible.
unsee that anymore at this point, because, yeah, his arms are basically down to the ground if he stretched them out.
He's got gorilla arms. It's amazing.
He could be hugging all of them. He could be behind them, just like have his arms all the way around all three of those guys.
If he hugs Goofy, does that make it a bear hug? Nope, because Goofy is a dog, DM. Edge makes it through the double books there the scary way.
Yeah, that looks a lot tighter when you're on that part of the chair. I've seen people do like way on the back too, like basically hanging off the back edge of the chair.
I think my favorite strat that I don't have any interest in using myself is Larry's, though.
The
The
jump.
Larry jump over the
Yep.
first book.
The jump is cool, and yeah, it's very scary looking. Car wash, and we're out of there.
I think you get the Roger Rabbit question in every run of this game. Like, definitely both runners got it today. We'll have to have Hans or Johnny Stats. Who's in charge of the stats? Johnny
I
Stats.
think it's Johnny Stats.
Yeah, I'll have to have him put together a most popular trivia question or something.
We could run like 10,000 simulations of the game on an emulator and see how many times that question pops up.
Oh, you'd have to put like some jitter in so that you don't get the same RNG though.
Yeah, I don't know all the details, but I assume something like that could be done.
Edge
did
just
not
goes
see
for
what
the
station-
Far right. He must have got station 4 because he's just been on the far right the whole time. Well, I guess. Oh no.
Yeah, he could still
he's going
cross.
over to 1.
Yep. I like the right side too.
Yeah, I do like start out on the right and go through the middle just so I can avoid having to use the brakes ever. But it is kind of annoying because you have to actually like remember where to go.
2 pence. And game.
Oh wow! Look at that extra good Melvin hat.
Jammy wearing the Melvin hat for
That's-
Edge.
Yeah, that's just incredible.
Coming in with a 1609. Couple of rough, or a few rough deaths, unfortunately. But
Yeah,
still
I
managed
think-
to finish it out.
16 is that's not going to win too many races in this game, unfortunately.
No, that would still probably beat me though. So I think in 2 of my races at least.
It would beat a hamster on a hamster wheel as well.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's also true.
But that's going to do it for us. We'll see Dark Magician back again next week for the championship finals of the Cesspool. And we'll send it back up to Hans and hopefully Johnny Stats.
Take it easy, everyone.
Congratulations to Dark Magician, who will be joining Unos in the Cesspool final and also be in the upper deck for Season 7, both of them in their first year in the Elite Tournament. But before we move on to the Upper Deck semifinals, I want to remind everybody, if you want to join this tournament, if you want to be elite, make sure you get on that waiting list at the website elite.angrylarrygaming.com. It is available on a first-come, first-served basis if there are any openings in the tournament, and if you're special enough to join. While you're on the website, make sure you check out the standings, the schedule, but more importantly, the video archives of the first 5 seasons of the Elite Tournament and the special Elite Olympics. Now for something I hope you really enjoy.
And now here they are, the most daredevil group of daffy drivers to ever whirl their wheels in the wacky races, competing for the title of the world's wackiest racer. The cars are approaching the starting line. First is the Turbo Terrific, driven by Peter Perfect. Next, Rufus Roughcut and Sawtooth in the Buzz Wagon. Maneuvering for position is the Army Surplus Special. Right behind is the Ant Hill Mob in their bulletproof bomb. And there's Ingenious Inventor, Pat Pending in his converter car. Oh, and here's the lovely Penelope Pitstop, the glamour gal of the gas pedal. Next, we have the Bouldermobile with the Slag Brothers, Rock and Gravel. Lurching along is the creepy Coupe with the gruesome twosome, and right on their tail is the Red Max. And there's the Arkansas Chugabug with Luke and Blubber Bear. Sneaking along last is that mean machine with those double-dealing do-batters, Dick Dastardly and his sidekick, Muttley. And even now they're up to some dirty trick, and they're off to a standing start. And why not? They've been chained to a post by shifty Dick Dastardly, who shifts into the wrong gear. And away they go on the way out wacky races.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this special Wacky Races race here on the Elite. What is the name of this tournament? BGT?
It's the the Elite
It's the-
Lovers of International Tournament Expositions. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
You know, I stopped paying attention to this this tournament when they ejected me from the SHI tournament a couple seasons ago. I'm Joshy D here with my good friend BGT. Say hello. So we are a couple of veterans of this game, Wacky Races. Here we have Buzz Thunder versus Coach Crab, and they're doing a special challenge tonight for Wacky Races, where they've decided that they're going to race the game and obviously try to speed run it. But they are not going to have access to the bomb power-up or the feather float. So it's going to be interesting to see them try to navigate this game in a way much different than they did in Season 2 of the SHI Olympics.
Yeah, certainly the bomb was almost exclusively used as the weapon in a normal run of this game. But these two wanted to do something different, some original content, because nobody else has ever done a weird category of this before that I can remember. Do you remember anyone doing a weird run of this?
No, I mean, I don't know if it ever occurred, unless you would count the highly publicized All Bones race that...
Yes, of course. How could anyone forget All Bones?
How could
was probably
anyone
the greatest race in video game history.
Oh, it absolutely was. The All Bones race was myself, Joshy D versus BGT, where we played Wacky Races, but we collected every bone in the game, and if we failed to do so, would be forced to eat a giant bone-shaped cookie, which I think took about 8 to 10 minutes just to swallow that whole thing down.
At least. Those were brutal.
It was outrageous. Oh, it looks like Buzz is going down.
All Bones, maybe.
Yeah, he's trying to get an extra bone. Oh, so I think what he did here was he needed to get his little gradius meter down at the bottom on the feathers. So that way, the bone that was in here in the boss room, he'd have access to a health refill in case things go tits up in this fight. Looks like it's going fine. Like the bark that they're using right now, it says bow, I think, is a pretty good weapon. It's a pretty good weapon for this boss fight, since the guy's just kind of going horizontally across the room.
Yeah, I think some of the later bosses will be a little more challenging. Like Peter Perfect in particular seems like he'll be a pain with only the bow.
Yeah.
And they have also the option of not taking the bow power up, and then you have the bite, which is just hot garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's even worse than the original content they're producing here.
Yeah, it's the crummiest like melee attack. Like you have to get next to the enemies. It's terrible. I don't think anyone should use it. But I thought that maybe that this would be good. A good. I mean, I actually liked this game in the SHI Olympics. I thought I was really good. It was pretty strange that Coach Crab and I ended up in the losers finals because I thought I was doing really well. But this game I thought would have much more variety on how people could play it, since there was several different power-ups that you could have. Whereas in Season 1, Roller Games, basically everyone played as Hot Flash and maybe chose the Rockers for one stage or chose the Icebox for one stage. But basically everyone used exclusively the bomb, which is a really good weapon in this game.
Well, and I think it's the same kind of situation that we saw in Roller Games, because like Hot Flash is just faster than everyone. Like the movement is the more important part of that run, because the other characters could fight better, but like it didn't matter. The fights were just nonsense. And the same thing here. Like the bomb is just better in general. And obviously, like you're gonna use the feather float so you don't fall on the spikes like Buzz just did.
Yeah, they're really having to navigate this temple differently than we did in the Olympics. And watching this is just making me so upset, because I remember thinking that I was so good at this game. I thought I was gonna place well, but I got kind of screwed, because I remember like Buzz Thunder said that he didn't practice before our race, and so I thought that we had this agreement that no one was gonna practice. Yeah, and then he comes in, he does like a 10-minute run. And then I fought Larry, and Larry had gotten his wheels did down at the tire salon that day and had been practicing the whole time, and he got like a 5-minute run. And it was crazy. Oh, did I win? Oh, that's right. So he was doing really, really well, but then he started vomiting like towards the end of the race, and somehow I still came in dead last in this tournament. It was such a disgrace. But I've definitely gotten over that.
Of course, you came in last, and Buzz Thunder here on the left came in first, and made you play Echo the Dolphin for this one.
Yeah. Well, that also like brings up the point that like like the content I was producing for these humiliation streams was just too popular. People were enjoying it too much, and Larry booted me out of the tournament so that I couldn't keep losing and upstaging him with these brilliant streams. And so then it turned into this big thing. We had to sign paperwork just to keep us out of court, because he thought that he should be getting royalties off of the streams or something. And then I just decided to go away. But, as part of us,
It's easier to just walk away,
Yeah, but we're trying to reconcile things now, and which is why I'm here doing the commentary with you for the Elite tournament.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that at the I don't know, people might remember during the Olympics, you and I had kind of a falling out, a rivalry there, but then we made up at the end of the Olympics. I don't know if people remember all of that business too. We had a whole theme song for our
look at
friends again.
Buzz just taking a dump right there. Yeah. I mean, I thought that we were producing the most eagerly anticipated races, and really just the most quality content, and especially the hyping, the Twitter hyping for our races.
Yes,
how's
phase.
How's the viewership done on these tournaments since our rivalry had to be removed from the equation?
Yeah, I think the viewership is still thriving. I think there's still interest in the tournament, so that's good at least. But I mean, I don't have as much fun with it without the rivalry.
Yeah. So these guys, I mean, they're doing all right. I mean, it's looking like
you say as Coach falls in a pit. I can't really see the bottom of his screen to tell what's going on, because he apparently never learned how to crop things.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He was pretty good at roller games, and then he came into this tournament thinking he was all that, and just really stunk up the joint. And he hasn't gotten much better apparently. But Coach,
Buzz fell in that same hole though, so this might just be like a challenging jump that they expect you to have wing for.
it looks like a terrible jump. Like I would be surprised if the feather wasn't required, and we're going to be here for 6 hours until they realize that they can't actually make this jump without taking the feather. It might have to be a case where they get the feather and then just immediately lose it after completing that jump. But like, I'll go ahead and I'll watch Muttley die, 6 or 8 times in a row.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Coach
his name,
falls
right?
in again. Yeah, Muttley. And what his what are you doing, Buzz?
He just tiptoes off the ledge.
Tiny Tim straps. There's no tulips down there.
Yeah, growing up in the Bay Area, there was a TV show called Bay Area Backroads, and but everyone knew it as Mac and Muttley because it was like the guy who did the travel show would take his dog skiing or scuba diving, and his dog's name was Muttley, and it was a popular show. I think it was probably more popular than Wacky Races.
I'd never even heard of Wacky Races until we did this game.
I think it was. I did watch. Obviously, like Hanna-Barbera wasn't the top tier cartoon show that a kid could watch, but it was. I remember seeing this on TV. And it's Hanna-Barbera did that interesting thing, like in the '70s, where like they would get like Davy Jones from the Monkees to like do a guest spot in a cartoon, or like the Partridge Family, kind of like Warner Brothers is doing in the '40s with Bing Crosby or whatever. Yeah, it would be pretty cool if like Davy Jones showed up in one of these stages.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be better than watching this just total suck-ass race that these guys are doing.
Well, it looks like they both made it over that crazy jump.
Well, that's good.
Doing some weird thing, like I don't know if he was scrolling the screen a little bit, if there's like some I don't know, strange mechanic that he was trying to take advantage of there. But then Coach just jumped over it, no problem. So I guess time is the charm.
We could say that. If someone had the tech, I would think that probably Buzz would have the tech. I mean, he definitely practiced a lot before our race. Despite what he said. And,
maybe if Unos was streaming it for a few days before, Buzz would have the tech.
Yeah, I checked the edits on the wiki page, and it's like it's all Buzz Thunder, and it's he's got the download on this.
Download.
Okay, so we're in another temple. This always like really confused me in this game, how like somehow we're in another pharaoh's tomb for no reason. Like we'd already been in one.
One's in the Americas and one's in Africa, right? Well, this is clearly not in Africa because now they're in a lumberjack. There's no lumberjacks in Africa.
Yeah, well, I guess it could be like a Mexican tomb or pyramid, and this is the
yeah, I don't like the overworld where you select which world to go to has a map. Like they're supposed to be in different like areas. But I mean, there's one level that's like Texas with armadillos and shit.
But this is clearly like a Pacific Northwest lumberjack guy here on whatever this. Each of the cars have a name, and I don't remember what the car names are, but you could be
the cars and the drivers all have names.
Yeah. So this guy's from the Samoa Cookhouse, and he got taken down by Buzz. Buzz is, he's got a pretty good lead now. It's hard to know. Like they're both playing in such a pedestrian way that I can't like really tell who's gonna do better. I think it's more like luck if they manage to hit some of these difficult jumps because they're playing pretty careful. Otherwise, I think it's mostly gonna be the lack of the feather. Because like if people don't know, if you have the feather and you jump, you can mash a button and you kind of float down. Like Muttley like wags his tail, even though he doesn't have a tail, he just wags it anyway.
I mean, he has a tail. What kind of dog doesn't have a tail?
Well, but it's not a tail that would like really help you at all in gliding.
Well, I mean, what kind of dog has a tail that helps you glide? It's a cartoon, Joshy. Come on.
You tell me this ain't based on real life. Well, but you know what I mean. It's so he does that, and then it helps you make some of these longer jumps. Oh man, yeah, this is a jump here that like was totally wrecking people, even like on the original tournament.
Yeah,
like,
well, there's that dragonfly thing or whatever it's supposed to be that appears and can easily knock you in.
Yeah, there's a few different jumps in this game where like if you don't know that an enemy is gonna pop out, like that stupid whale right there. It'll totally catch you the first time, and it's kind of like an arcade thing that, like in the Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, where if you don't know that the Foot Clan's going to push over the billboard, you're just going to get walloped by it the first time, and it's just the machine stealing your money.
Yeah, the Kaizo Mario type gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. So how is it, I kind of wonder like what the origin story of this race is, because Buzz did well in the original version of this game in the tournament, and Coach did not do well like at all. Like if you're in the finals with Josh ED, like you're clearly in the lower bracket.
Yeah, I mean, I think that season was before we had the notion of the brackets.
That's true. Yeah.
Maybe it's a redemption thing for Coach. He wants to, prove that he's not.
So he's
the
still
second
bitter
worst at this game.
You're saying he's a bitter old man and he hasn't gotten over this loss. He's like the angry Cobra Kai guy who's still mad that he got crane kicked in the face by Buzz Thunder.
Or what it could be is that Buzz Thunder wanted to put another W on the board, so he challenged someone who is generally thought to be good at games, but who is bad at this game. So it looks like he's achieving something, but really it's just a shoe-in.
I totally believe that Buzz Thunder is the kind of guy that actually puts like notches in his belt, or like puts a notch in his headrest of his bed. When he beds a lady, and so he's just collecting wins.
I hope at least after this that he starts marking all of his wins in elite tournaments on his belt, because that's amazing.
Oh, that'd be so sick. I want to start a Twitter account that's just Buzz's belt, and like every time he gets a win, it's just another notch in the belt.
I support this idea.
Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, so we got to remember in the post game interview, we need to ask him about his bed at home and if he's keeping track of wins like that. Look at Buzz, like actually knowing like the exact place to swim, so that way he can avoid both the spikes and the shark.
Well, this level you would normally, I think some people took the for this level when we were playing it like legitimately, but you normally would take the feather too, because it lets you swim faster for some reason.
Yeah.
But
because dogs swim with their tail,
form.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Dogs definitely, like when you doggy paddle, you have to use your tail to stay afloat. That's how it works.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's kind of like a magician's trick, where like they want you to look at the front legs, but actually it's the tail that's doing all the work.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a sleight of
I'm
hand.
certainly an expert on swimming because I grew up in Wisconsin, where we swim all the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have a big feud with Wisconsin generally, just over cheese, and because I'm from California, so I definitely think that we have the better cheese, and I'll trust you guys with like my cheddars.
Worth eating in California?
Do we have
all
what
made of kale?
No, we don't have kale cheese. No, we milk sheep and cows, but like it's just I just feel that we've adopted more of the French style of cheese making, and you guys are kind of stuck in the past of just cheddars and heartland dairy milk cheeses, and that's cute and all, but just really can't I haven't had a Wisconsin brie that's worth a damn. But
I don't know that brie is very popular in Wisconsin. I can't think of a time that I had a brie that was from there, actually.
Yeah, I can remember one, and I spent all night, vomiting into a toilet. But
I think maybe there was something just additionally wrong. If it was making you throw up, like that's a little too much.
Okay, so it looks like Coach has just now entered the water level, and he doesn't know the magic pixel to swim on to avoid the sharks.
Yeah, he had some trouble with Peter Perfect in the past level too, I think. I don't know. I was thinking about cheese or whatever we were talking about.
I think I wasn't even paying attention. Like his screen is just like his capture is all blurry, and he doesn't know how to crop it. I'd much prefer to just look at Buzz's side of the.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of feeling like you after Wisconsin Brie, watching those pixels.
Yeah, just watching this race is making me want to take a nice Wisconsin Brie and just do a little purging. I mean, this is some pretty shameful gameplay. Look at Buzz. Like, so now he knew that dragonfly was going to be there. Like, it's not like the dragonfly only appears if you have the bow power up. Like,
no, he's always there.
Yeah. So that's just no excuse. Okay, so he gets it there. Now this is a stage that I remember in the original tournament. Like, people could lose their lead pretty easily because if you take a fall here, you usually have to backtrack a significant way.
Yeah, that spot where Buzz got hit by the dragonfly that's like
particular
that you go like a whole screen length back.
Yeah,
this is going to be an interesting jump too.
Yeah, I don't know how he's gonna do. Oh yeah, so you just have to go down. Yeah. Oh. Well, this looks like a pretty easy notch in Buzz's. Oh well, maybe spoke too soon.
Well, but coach still has to do all this too, and you know.
Yeah. You know, this I'm actually thinking that the bow is pretty good on this boss. I mean, Coach can't seem to get the timing right, but like it does seem like.
Well, the bomb is super good on this boss. So you have the quick kill. If you get the bomb, you can like time it right so that you hit him. Basically, he gets like one big jump in.
Yeah, if you practice. But I thought like none of us were gonna practice for this one. Like I remember there was like a big thing in the Discord that everyone was saying like, no, we're not gonna practice. This is gonna be a fun tournament and not spend all day at Wheelworks, you know, getting all the tech.
Yeah, I don't remember there being a no practice thing. I remember there being a no practice thing when you and I played roller games.
Yeah, I don't think I'd completed a run before I did my first roller games race.
I had beaten the game the night before the first roller games tournament, like, and it took me over an hour. I think it took me like 40 or 50 minutes my first race, or no, I think that one was over an hour too.
Yeah, you were putting in some pretty beefy times. It was impressive.
I was just going for maximum content, you know.
Yeah. Well, we got that.
I really am just garbage at that game. Like, I don't know what it is. I can't play it.
Oh, I'm so good at that game. Really. Like, I actually, Buzz Thunder and I were comrades of sort on roller games because we both really liked the rockers strat of doing the Cliffs of Insanity level with the rockers and then keeping the rockers through the through the rafts on the next level.
So yeah, these pillar jumps seem.
Oh yeah,
to stay on board.
Wow, I couldn't know if
Coach is like caught up quite a bit here. If he can do like he's right here at the pillars.
Yeah, if he does these pillars right, he should be in good shape.
Oh wow, yeah, look at that first try, easy
there
game.
Cool. Well, hey, we have a race. Oh god, I can't even look at his freaking screen, man.
I'm surprised like some follower notifications haven't popped up yet.
Yeah, that'd be the kind of thing he would do, huh?
I guess someone would have to follow him though, huh?
Yeah, I don't think I follow him.
I don't know if I've known him for the requisite 3 years yet to follow him.
God, so this stage has a couple places where you could take a spill and lose some time, and this actually has my I mean, I like Penelope Pitstop, the boss of this stage. You know, she's super cute. There's good cosplay of her. She's funny.
I mean, she's no sexy ice cream from Panic Restaurant.
No, I liked the carrots. I thought the carrots were pretty hot.
You would,
but
that's a very California thing to say.
It is, yeah, but no, it would be a fermented pickle carrot.
I don't know what Buzz was doing there.
No,
that's a lead change.
Well, yeah, what he was doing was giving up the lead, but I never learned how to fight this boss. And like, you know, I was doing some like, even though we weren't supposed to practice, I did some down low practice trying to figure out this fight. I could never do it.
I like that you're maintaining this we weren't supposed to practice thing.
Well,
I think you and Coach were the two that didn't practice, and you know, look where that got you.
God, and then I remember I was like stomping a mud hole in Coach. Like I was just humiliating him in that race. It was so good. And then I had just like some like absolute emotional breakdown on the final stage, and like he caught up like 3 stages, and it was a disgrace. Like I don't even know why I entered season 3 after that heartbreaking loss.
Because you wanted to do another humiliation stream.
God, those streams are so good. Yeah, so if you go to Joshy D on Twitch, on YouTube, you could see the humiliation streams that I've done. Just excellent content.
What was that? Where do we go again? Joshy D on Twitch on YouTube?
Yeah. I don't have enough subscribers yet to have my own URL, but you guys can help me out with that. But if you search for Joshy_D on Twitch as a YouTube channel, you can watch the SHI humiliation streams that I did. One for Echo the Dolphin and one for QWOP. Which Coach picked that, right? Like he was the winner of season 3 of Panic Restaurant.
Was he? I don't remember. I think so.
I don't remember either. I remember I lost, and yeah, I thought I was pretty good at that game too.
I did okay at that one, but I still didn't get into the finals or anything.
Yeah, I just there's something I never really developed a sense of urgency when I was playing these games. Like I like to enjoy. I mean, what I was focusing on was like the fundamentals of wacky races. Like if you watch my races in the archives of the SHI tournament, like and you watch like the fundamental gameplay, I'm actually winning all of these races, and it's like
Well, I think one of the fundamentals of a race is going fast, though. So I think maybe
no. I'm not talking about
fundamentals that you
fundamentals.
were missing.
No, not fundamentals of racing. Fundamentals of gameplay. Like if you watch my gameplay, it's actually the superior gameplay. Like the other guy might be coming in first because like they know how to race or whatever. But like fundamentally, watching my gameplay in the race is a clear winner. Like so, just check it out.
I'll have to check that out. Where I go to http://joshyd@youtube.twitch.tv.
No.
Hot for Josh Plus. Is that correct?
Well, that's the pending URL, but we need a few more subscribers. So you have to do some searching, but I'll link it in chat actually. So you can go to this site right here. Or maybe we can get Hans Buttface just display it like across the screen. My Twitch address. And you can go there, watch some really solid fundamental gameplay and some excellent humiliation streams. You're gonna really enjoy it. Look at these bounces. So I mean, it might not be apparent to the viewers right now, but like these clouds, like they have like auto jump, and so if you
I thought they were just pressing jump as much as they could.
Well, they have like turbo buttons. These guys are playing with turbo buttons, and they didn't realize that since they can't use the feather, like it's not as useful as
it's
they
a
thought.
detriment.
Yeah. Now, once again, like I think I've actually in fighting this boss, like accidentally chosen the bow.
Well, bow is definitely good for this boss.
Yeah, this is
without a
good
doubt.
for
This one, bombs are a pain on this one.
Well, it's a good fundamental. Like if you
back at the fundamentals.
Yes. So so I think they were actually like they picked up some Joshy D strats on this one, and you can see like how well it's working out for him. Like,
yeah, we're only at like 3 times the normal length of a run of this game, and they're still kicking. So,
well, like, I can't. Oh, so so you can actually walk on the ground here. Like you don't necessarily have to take this top route. So like falling here is not really a big deal. But I mean, the feather's nice, but
we'll see if Coach can get back up on the roofs.
Can you stand on this light post? Yes, he doesn't know that he could have just hopped on that light post over there.
I think the piranha plant was guarding it. These piranha plants are like my least favorite enemy in this game because they react to your inputs. Like when you jump, they jump, and when you shoot, they like jump away and then jump back. It's really weird.
Oh, was that in the wiki? Because like I didn't think that we were supposed to read up or practice this game, so I didn't check any of that stuff.
No, this is like one of these fundamental concepts of the game that I learned by playing it in my races. I don't know if you learn things when you play games or not.
No. If you play like a pure gameplay fundamental strategy, like it's not about like studying this insider tech that you guys have. It's about like just a fundamental understanding of the game and executing that game plan. So I didn't know that the piranha plants read your inputs. That's crazy.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, if you only played the game the 3 times that you were required to, maybe you wouldn't have noticed such a thing.
Yeah, maybe not. I think that my least favorite enemies are all in the final level because like they just mess me up so bad.
Well, it's kind of funny because like a lot of the enemies are the same, but like reskinned. Like the pink cats on this level make an appearance later as like white mice in the mining cave level.
Oh yeah.
Their behavior is the exact same. The piranha plants, I think, have. There's another one that behaves like that. I don't remember what it is.
Oh,
The anthill gang here, I think, is going to be kind of annoying with Bao.
I think that Bao works pretty well on these because like it just you can stay up and just shoot across the stage.
Well, this movement that Coach is doing right now is the same movement you do when you fight him with bombs. So I think it's just slower. Like it's just more opportunities to get hit.
See, I didn't learn the kind of like the racing strat for this. So I guess I'm not recognizing the
it's
movement
kind of
pattern.
a fundamental way to beat the boss.
Well, no, I tried to play it like in a more like pure fundamental way of just like reacting to the movements and trying to make a game of it and not like just trying to go as fast as possible. Like I wanted to experience the game. And the game is like it's like a one-on-one duel with the anthill gang. Oh my god! So after watching that boss fight, I looked over at Buzz's screen, and it's like I put on my reading glasses. Like it's incredible. like I can't believe how much better his screen looks than Coach's. Yeah, and you can see the whole HUD on the bottom.
Yeah, it's nice.
Like why would you not want to see the whole thing? I don't know. Look,
Yeah,
I can't even see Coach on like Muttley was half off screen on the top.
I missed it.
Yeah, that's good.
Even better. The top is cut off too.
Yeah, I didn't know that until just now. Does he need a tutorial? Like, I think that like it's not a violation of the no practice rule for wacky races if you look up a tutorial on how to broadcast on OBS. I think that's fair. Like we didn't have a no practice.
Yeah, you can't practice
caveat on
playing
streaming.
or streaming.
Yeah, that's to be your first stream ever.
So yeah, if our trackers would keep up to date here, I think we have 3 people tracking this game, and this tracker's still out of date. Looks like Coach is a whole level ahead at this point.
Yeah, but Muttley just took a little bath there. He's dog paddling with his tail again.
Yeah, that's kind of a common video game trope where there'll be an underwater level where your character can swim, but any other level, water is instant death. What is that about?
Yeah, this is for some reason like acidic water or.
But like sometimes they recolor it red, but here it's clearly just water.
Yeah, I don't know
why.
My
favorite though is in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game when they can't swim. Like, okay,
come on, yeah, they have that whole dam level where they spend a lot of time swimming, and they're turtles.
Yeah, exactly. They're turtles.
they should have they should be quite familiar with how to swim.
But I guess they're anthropomorphized and they grew up in Wisconsin and never learned to swim.
Yeah, are they from Oconomowoc? Is that
maybe?
Could be.
I think aren't they from New York? Ooh, Buzz gets smushed. It's gonna.
Oh, I forgot that happened. Yeah.
Reinflate. I don't know, like, you can just hide in the corner and that rock rolls right over you, so I don't know what he was trying to pull off there.
Yeah, and that's not something that's
throwing away more
changed.
lead.
Yeah, it's not like I wonder if the boulders react differently if you don't have the bomb. Like, is that what's happening?
Probably,
like he
yeah.
didn't know, he thought it was going to be different because he had a different power-up. God, what a Melvin. Like how do you... Like, he's shown that he understands this game. I mean, maybe not fundamentally, but he has, like, a racing familiarity with this game, but then just these really just kind of numbskull mistakes are costing him a lot of time. Oh man, these big Stonehead guys.
Oh, the Easter Island guys.
Gosh, they just give me such a hard time.
And then the staple removers. Like, what place are you where you have Easter Island heads and staple removers?
Well, the stage is called America Go-Go, right?
I mean, yeah.
I don't. Oh no, Go America. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any. I don't think that the people who made this game had done much tourism. Like maybe it's like they kind of like they had a book about the world, and it turns out that it was, Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah,
I like
these
these dunks that shoot like a pellet at you too.
Yeah.
Recently, my dog found and cornered a skunk, so I'm now intimately aware of how skunks attack their enemies, and it's not by shooting a pellet.
No. Oh man, my friends have like security cameras all over their house, and like they caught on the security camera their dog getting in a scuffle with a skunk and losing. And it's so funny because like
even if you win, you lose in that fight.
But like the dog totally didn't understand what was happening and just like starts like rolling around trying to figure out like why his nose is so upset.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what my dog did.
Yeah, they can't figure out like what the hell's wrong. It's kind of like how I feel when I look at Coach's screen. Like it's really irritating and I don't get it.
Coach is on the last boss here though, so barring a Joshy D or Choke Me I Like It level throwaway here, might have this one in the bag. And
really could be. That's gonna hurt Buzz's ego because like he's a guy who takes losses hard, which I assume
he's certainly not gonna put a notch in the belt for this one.
No, he won't be able to. So he's gonna call you up tomorrow and like, hey BGT, do you want to do a Wacky Races race? It's like just try to get that win back.
I hope so.
That's a dead on Buzz Thunder impression too. Like I've known him a long time.
Exactly what he sounds like.
Hey BGT, I just was wondering if you want to do some. Wait, was that it?
That's it.
Oh,
that's all the marbles. Isn't that what we say now?
I think that is. Well, we'll go ahead and watch the finish of Buzz's race and see how he deals with these challenges here.
He was clearly tilted by seeing that Coach was done because he immediately jumped in a pit when he saw it.
Yeah, he really takes a loss hard. It's hard to see, like you don't want to watch someone just kind of like let revenge kind of consume their life and they turn into Lady Stoneheart and just like they never get over it. But that's our Buzz.
Lady Stoneheart.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding is that's a Game of Thrones thing, but I don't really know. I don't read books.
Well, that's the best part. Is because like most people are going to be familiar with the television adaptation of Game of Thrones, and
the cat's out of the bag now. Spoilers. Yeah, that's as close as you're going to get to a literary reference when I'm doing commentary. Like,
I mean, that was a fundamental literary.
It really is. Like, let's watch
reference.
Buzz fundamentally get his ass kicked here by the Captain Caveman. Well, this isn't though. This is some other people that are just
they look
violating
like Captain Caveman, right?
The intellectual property of Captain Caveman. I think it's actually Davy Jones of the Monkeys.
But Davy Jones of the Monkeys.
Yeah, he's like in a costume, and Velma's gonna come in and like unmask him, and I forget the lore of Wacky Races, but I think Velma figures prominently into it.
Absolutely.
Well, snicker. That's one tough loss for Buzz Thunder. Sorry, buddy. And congratulations, Coach Crab. Yeah, you did well. You went from next to last to, I think, the ultimate winner of the whole thing. I think that this actually like retcons season 2 of the SHI tournament in a pretty significant way.
Yeah, the only thing is we'll have to go to the timers for this because there's a 2-minute penalty for how garbage his stream is.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty bad. I think he has to like actually eat like a giant bone cookie at this point.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, just for the cropping. Well, hey, I want to thank the promoters of the elite, whatever it's called, tournament that Josh is not allowed to participate in because he was having too much fun. It's really nice to be here once again with my good friend and rival BGT. This has been fun. This was a. I'm not gonna say it's a good race, but it was something to do on a Friday night. So.
Yeah, it's certainly nice. It's better than getting pinged by restreamers before my tournament race later tonight. So,
oof, wow, that's a tough one. Yeah, you can go to Angry Larry's Discord and get in the hot takes if you want like a whole lot of discussion of race politics. But I'm kind of out of the racing game. Like I prefer to enjoy more of like a fundamental video game experience and not focus too much on speed. I think that's kind of missing the point.
Yeah, I there's the age-old no timer boys.
Yeah, that's my crew. Those are the guys I like to hang out with. But yeah, let's maybe we'll kick it back to is Hans Buttface still involved in the tournament?
Yeah, he's back in the studio, I think, just waiting for us to send it back up to him.
Oh, what a guy. Well, hey, BGT, good hanging out with you. Why don't you send it back?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a pleasure, Joshy D. I look forward to our next rivalry race when we get mad at each other again. But in the meantime, we'll send it back up to Hans and we'll see you all around.
It's time to move on to the upper deck. After getting hosed in his bonus race, we'll see if Buzz Thunder can rebound here against D-Pad Danny. D-Pad Danny went 3-1 in his group Mickey, losing only to Dig Shake. Buzz Thunder went 3-1 in group Donald, losing to the number 1 seed Coach Crab. The winner of this moves on to the Cesspool Finals. The loser is done until the next season. Who will win? Let's find out now. We're going to join the action with Link Sevens and Armageddon Time.
Hello everyone, welcome to this Upper Deck semifinal between D-Pad Danny and Buzz Thunder. I've got Armageddon Time here with me. What's going on today, Arma?
Not bad, Link. Looks like we got ourselves a little race here in a tournament filled with Melvins, Magoos, and Monkey Shines. These two are the cream of the crop that rose to where we are now.
D-Pad using D for the name, smart choice.
Big fan of the D, of course, as normal, and
Buzz Thunder going to round 2 on the first question. That'll set him back a couple seconds.
even the best of us can still manage to make a little mistake here and there, but if this race is full of those, you never know. We could have a huge upset, or maybe somebody squeaking out a win here.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time to decide. Get into our boring part of the race here, our Space Mountain.
At least the slower part of the race does happen at the beginning, so you can at least get it out of the way.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag because, you know, it's a nice relaxing break, but at the same time, if you're doing like PB attempts, you're like, oh, I failed, I need to reset, and now I have to do several minutes of Space Mountain again. And why would I want to do that to myself?
Yeah, it's also visually not that appealing because they're both doing literally the exact same thing, and it's just a matter of a slight time difference, so it isn't until we get to Autopia that things finally pick up.
Yeah, I mean, you can take a wrong route here, but just watching the race, unless you're like studying move for move what they're doing, you're not even really going to notice. It's just going to be...
Yeah, as long as you got the cheat sheet, then you're good to go.
Yeah, so you probably really see the difference when they walk out of here at the end. But they're going to be pretty close together within a few seconds.
Yeah,
let the more fun parts of the game decide the race.
Yeah, the times that these two have posted, it really shows that they've min-maxed as much as they can out of their routing, however you pronounce it. But so a lot of it'll be interesting to see where the overworld takes them and which way they handle the more complex levels.
We'll probably see some pretty traditional strats here, but
so far so good. D-Pad makes it out first.
it's like about the same as when they entered. So now we'll get Autopia here. D-Pad Danny hitting the brakes there at the beginning. That's actually probably a faster strat. Autopia lags quite a bit when you have two enemies on the screen, so just slowing down early there actually probably saved him a few frames.
Always with the talking about frames and legs. Boy, oh boy, it just makes my head spin around. But I'm glad you're here for that, Link.
Gotta save those frames. D-pad did take a bop there into the wall, so that'll slow him back down. But
Gotta make sure you grab as many stars as possible, even if you're worried about maybe losing a couple frames. But you know, in the end, it's really gonna matter because this is where you make it up.
yeah, you wanna get your star count up here so you can use them to save time in some later stages. So we'll see some of that. These guys will be using some freeze strats and some invincibility strats later on.
If you don't use them, you lose them.
Guess that's true. No major issues in Autopia. Nobody jumping out of bounds and having to restart or anything. So another round of questions here.
Looks like they're actually much closer than when they left Autopia than when they left Space Mountain.
Yeah, Buzz may have made up a couple seconds in there.
Not really getting to see what the questions are, as my eyes are just bouncing in between the two races here.
Yeah, it's hard to pay attention to both. We got the Mark Twain over on D-pad Danny's side.
And who is Winnie the Pooh is Winnie the Pooh question, of course.
All right, we'll get our pirate stage. We'll see if anybody's gonna do our do any crazy strats.
Let's hope that there'll be R, all right.
We are doing ladder jumps, at least on D-pad Danny's side. See if we get any raindrops coming up here, or airboats.
Yeah, that is still a fun, interesting phenomenon that I have yet to emulate myself.
Yeah, I haven't really spent much time trying, but yeah, I saw the highlights of people doing that. D-pad Danny though shorts the jump.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Gives Buzz a decent lead here. We'll see what he does with it.
He's your bud now?
Oh, we've been in so many of these tournaments together now, of course.
Well, that absolutely changes the lead because it was only a matter of seconds separating them, and now it's completely flipped. The only thing I have to remain to flip is my lid, but I don't think I'm even wearing one right now.
Yeah, D-pad's having to wait for the fire at the lava there. Buzz Thunder lighting the fire, finishing up the pirates. He does take the boat. He doesn't save his 13 frames there at the end.
D-pad does get the slight damage boost. So it looks like D-pad still has a little bit of catching up to do, but nobody's out of it yet. We can't write this off just right now.
D-pad also gonna throw away the 13 frames. We'll see how Buzz does in the ballroom up here. That and the chairs, you can gain and lose some time in there.
Yeah, coming up to the neon ballroom before the evil chairs and chandeliers. And I don't think I've really seen such risky jumps from Buzz Thunder in quite some time.
I think he's got his timing down here. He did okay.
The last time Buzz made a leap of faith like that, he asked D-pad Danny to play PGA Tour 2.
Guess I didn't hear that story.
You had to be there.
Looks like I missed out on that, but it looks like Buzz is going to make his way through the chairs here at the end. Lag City. We'll see how his ghost spawn does.
Speaking of missed opportunities, D-Pad missed his opportunity to get onto that chandelier and unfortunately has to restart the level.
Yeah, that'll set him a little further back. Seemed like it was a couple seconds slow of a ghost spawn there, but no major problems for Buzz. He'll be moving on to Thunder Mountain after a quick question. Third
Looks like it's
station.
third.
That's the
You beat me to it.
that's the tricky one.
It's only tricky if you're just not paying attention, or if you psych yourself out and think maybe if I'm going this direction, it must be fourth station.
My biggest issue is reading the station at all, so you know that would have put me out of it.
And
Oh,
D-Pad, luckily making his way through the chairs.
Too many hits in Thunder Mountain for Buzz Thunder. It's
I mean, they
Buzz
named the
Thunder.
ride after him, and he still can't complete.
I feel like we need a ROM hack of this where we make the rocks, the sprites for the rocks in Thunder Mountain, like the boss bot from Zelda 2. That way you
Yeah,
get-
so you can be Buzz Thunder Mountain.
You can be Buzz Thunder Mountain. You can get Buzz Thundered.
Who would be a good replacement for the ghoul that D-Pad is about to face?
I don't know. That's a good question. Think about that. Looks like he had a bit of a slow spawn too.
Car wash!
He had to get in at least one of those.
Yeah, I just completely fanned on the first one, but you're not gonna get me to miss the second.
Alright, Buzz Thunder makes it through the questions. That's a W for Buzz Thunder. We'll be moving on to the Elite Championship match. So congratulations to him.
Very
We'll finish
interesting.
this out.
Yeah, and let's see if D-Pad hopefully finishes the fight. And yeah, Buzz makes it once again to the finals. It'll be interesting to see who his competition will be.
Yeah, the wreck in Thunder Mountain there, I think, cost him a sub 11, which I think I would have thought really the semifinals and finals would probably be decided under 11 minutes. But deaths and stuff can cost quite a bit of time.
Well,
depending
it's
on
just-
where you are.
It just matters so much more this time, so maybe the nerves are all the higher.
Yeah, that could be it. Couple more questions here for D-Pad.
You got a Sherry Bobbins?
Just hoping for like a Fauntleroy at the end or something.
And there's a GG for both competitors, along with a very, very celebratory Melvin hat.
Enthusiastic Melvin.
The most Melvin of all Melvins. What a wonderful graphic. I
Alright,
mean, we are all having fun here. And luckily, D-Pad Danny knows how to have fun too.
yeah.
And even Jam Eviler, in all his wisdom, decides to give both barrels.
I think that does it for us here in this semi-final race in the upper deck. Thanks for hanging out, Arma. We'll
Thank you for calling it with me, Link.
Yeah, have a good one.
And until then, that's all the marbles.
For winning, Buzz Thunder will now take on the winner of this race. Number 1 seed Coach Crab from Group Donald against number 2 seed Bentglass Tube from Group Mickey. Both players went 3-1. Bentglass Tube had to win his last race against Link Sevens to make it in. Coach Crab lost his last race to tournament average leader Angry Larry, ruining his perfect season. But that race didn't matter. This one does. Who will face Buzz Thunder in the Cesspool final? We'll find out now with Angry Larry and Nirm.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I am Nirm, joined by Angry Larry. This is your elite semi-final race. We've got Bent Glass Tube on the left, Coach Crab 127 on the right. Who you liking for this one, Larry?
Well, I mean, I'm going to root for Bentglass Tube. Other than being my guy, he was not in Group Daffy, and I hate every single person who is in Group Daffy.
See, we've got Bamboo 7 on the right, and BGT doing some zigzagging up to the trivia question here, but he's still going to be the first one out.
Classic BGT walk right out of the gate.
Is he feeling the nerves? Has BGT ever made an elite final?
He has never made an elite final, and it looks like he might not make another one. He misses a question. 2 questions.
Oh no. BGT. Can you read BGT?
He is BGTing this one up. Coach Crab taking the early lead right now. So I believe Bentglass Tube has only been in the upper deck in one other season, and I think that was in Tiny Toons Adventures. Have to check with Johnny's stats on that one.
He's really made a comeback here. He leapt over everybody else in the upper deck here, and he's got some ground to make up over Coach Crab.
Yeah, he was in a fortunate division there in Group Mickey. Group Mickey was very competitive, but not necessarily strong. Everybody pretty much went 2-2. A couple of wins there, lucky wins there, pushing people to 3-1 though.
So you're calling this a giant fluke for BGT?
Absolutely. I mean, like anybody, Group Daffy was the strongest group where even somebody who got into relegation race had the best average time in a tournament, if you can believe that.
I don't believe it.
And you were a victim of Group Daffy as well as you played 2-2, finishing in that 3rd position.
It is what it is. I get to enjoy the festivities, as it were.
Yeah, and BGT missing those 2 questions, man. Whew. I don't even know.
2 extra steps.
Yeah, one of the questions was, what, Cinderella's last name? I don't know what the first one was, because I think Coach got the how many ghosts are there in the haunted house question. But we're almost done here and heading on over to Autopia already.
Not going to see any of the alternate paths that have surfaced throughout this tournament, I don't think. Now that we are in the semifinals here, I think the nonsense has been weeded out. Then again, BGT missed 2 questions.
And walked incorrectly to the first question. Coach Crab down to 1 hit left, but he's on the final sequence of Space Mountain. Gets out of there and heads on up to Autopia. Which one's Rusty Wallace?
The blue one.
Do we have like a mix of Formula 1 cars and like regular stock cars in this race?
I believe so. They're definitely not all the same. I don't know if like they wanted to like signify different makes of cars or if they were going for different like entire types of cars. It's hard to tell.
All right, so you got 8 cars in Autopia. You control one of them. Let's say you're going to take the classic number 2 Miller Lite Rusty Wallace car. What other 7 cars and sponsors would you put to fill the field in your perfect, ideal 8-person racing game?
Perfect, ideal 8-person racing game. You gotta throw Mark Martin in there. Big Mark Martin fan.
The Viagra car or the Valvoline car?
Valvoline number 6.
Okay.
Obviously, Jeff Gordon DuPont 24 is a classic.
Regular Rainbow Warrior or Flames?
Regular.
Okay. No, I like the regular ones as well, the circa 1994 cars.
Let's see. That'll be another good one.
Would you consider a Neil Bonnet number 51 Country Time Pink Lemonade car?
That is a little before my time, unfortunately.
What is Coach Crab doing? He got. You know what? I saw the rat screen and I thought he actually took a death. My bad. He's moving on.
No, he's good. He's got to circle his H's up there.
It's the same thing when you finish the question right before Thunder Mountain, when they said "oops" and you think you got the question wrong.
All right, yeah, and the dog runs away.
Thumper is not the skunk, Coach Crab. Come on. BGT catching up here. They're both on the same question.
BGT is ahead.
Yeah, Coach Crab a little bit slow on that question, on that answer, and BGT has pulled back ahead. That's assuming we're synced up here.
I mean, he is definitely ahead, yes. Fauntleroy.
Got the good old Fauntleroy in there. It is a race. I think the kids say the race has been validated. Who rolled this seed?
Who rolled this seed?
Moving on
Bamboo
to...
7.
Yeah, Bamboo 7. Didn't get the memo. We're moving on here. Let's see if BGT pulls out any crazy strats in Pirates of the Caribbean. Coach Crab probably going to play it safe, although he gets bodied right away.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting to see the amount of time BGT makes up just not only off of like text matching, but just because Coach Crab does have the Bamboo 7 name, it is costing him a pretty significant amount of time. Just drawing those extra 6 characters every time the name is mentioned. Coach Crab, final heart here, and he does take a death. It's a little too impatient on the cannonball there, and BGT's out to a pretty significant lead here.
Yeah, and everybody in Group Daffy who did not make the playoffs, definitely happy that Coach Crab is representing our group so well.
Ecstatic.
BGT gets bodied by the Magoo on his way up. Magoo's in chat, please.
BGT looking to be in pretty good shape. Coach Crab down to 1 heart again after the cannonballs. Be a little disconcerting if you're not prepared for it, but he does have extra stars now that he's gone through the stage twice, so should be in okay shape, to say the least.
I have to mention here that it is the one thing I have not seen in this tournament so far is people who are getting into trouble more or less are not the people who rely heavily on stars to freeze things and make themselves invulnerable, but yet they're still not using the life up when they're in trouble, and it's costing them a lot of time. I wonder why people just weren't doing it, whether they just didn't know or...
I don't know. It's just something I guess you don't really think about. Is BGT also down to 1 health? Will he be the one to take the life up here, or will he try and tough it out, just barely clearing that zombie?
Once you're inside, there's only really one place where you can take some damage, and that's in the ballroom. Everywhere else, if you would take damage, you would probably be falling to your death anyway. So let's see how he handles the ballroom coming up.
I think BGT's got a good handle on his balls here. The swag candle.
Definitely playing it safe. This is not the way he normally goes through the ballroom.
He did respawn that enemy behind him, but managed to get it off the screen, so it's not going to lag, so that's good.
He could also die to the boss if he doesn't kill it within the invulnerability phase. If
He's got
Go ahead.
He's got that swag candle thing figured out.
Yeah, he definitely likes the goofy stuff like that in runs. See him doing a lot of stupid stuff in Zelda 1.
Intentionally?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like HUD clip and all that.
See.
Dropping the bomb for the grayscale at Zelda, yeah. Coach played the ballroom pretty relatively safe, and he's going to be safe here on these chair jumps. He's going to wait for it to come to him, not take any risks. Quick ghost spawn here.
Yep. Car wash.
Car wash. Let's see what this question is here. Before we move on to Thunder Mountain, Coach Crab a little bit behind now, a little bit further behind now. BGT,
Bumper.
yeah, answers the question that Coach Crab missed earlier.
Do have fourth station for BGT, so he doesn't have to think. He just has to hold right for the second half of this, and it's fine.
Yeah, you do have to dodge one thing early for Station 4 because you're going to take 2 guaranteed damage if you don't slow down. First gate there and then a boulder later on. But you have to kind of avoid this one coming up. There's another car wash, and now he's clear to hold right. All right, so we have Jeff. I'm sorry, we have. Go ahead.
No, I'll say BGT made up so much ground. Like, he was, he caught up on that one question, and then past that point, I didn't really see Coach Crab make, like, a mistake, per se. Obviously,
Well, he died.
he did die,
Yeah.
but still feel like BGT has extended the lead since that point.
Yeah, optimization in areas here and there, not killing as many things in the ballroom, stuff like that. He arrived at track 4, so we're going to see the last 2 questions. So, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Valvoline. Any other ones coming to mind before we're done?
The Tide Car, Ricky
Rudd?
Rudd, Ricky
Yeah.
Ricky Craven, either one.
Yeah, either one.
Poison.
Even Dow Roll Trips Tide Car, 66.
Oh, the 17th there also pretty good too. We do have a winner, and we do have our elite final race all ready to go. Going to be Buzz Thunder against. How do we let this happen? Bent Glass 2. Buzz Thunder, Bent Glass 2.
How do we let either of them happen?
Yeah, I know.
Thanks to somebody in my group driving right into the water in Otopia. I think it upset the whole balance of this whole tournament.
Sure, we'll go with that. But no, good job by VGT. Put the time in this, and it shows. And pretty epic 11-13 Melvin hat over there for Coach Crab.
Yeah, Jamie will approves.
No swearing.
Get some long arms going on right now on the left-hand side.
And yeah, there you have it. Our elite match is all set up. The what are we even gonna call this one, Larry?
The Elite Championship, pending a better name.
Do we have like a Rumble in the Jungle?
I mean, it's Bent Glass Tube versus Buzz Thunder. Do we even want to take the time to make it a special title?
I don't know. We'll let chat decide.
Chat's dumb, but maybe they'll come up with something good. That loud good person probably will. But any final thoughts here? Any predictions, previews for the final race?
I'm gonna go with BGT. I think BGT's gonna walk all over the entire elite and take this one home.
I could agree. He's putting in the work, so we'll see what happens next week. But for now, thanks for joining me, Nirm.
Thank you, Angry.
And we'll go on up to Hans Buttface to recap everything that happened tonight. And there you have it. The semifinals, week 6 concluded. Here's what's on deck next week in the final episode of season 6. Got the Elite Championship, Bent Glass Tube versus Buzz Thunder. The Cesspool Finals, Unos versus Dark Magician. And then that relegation race between Dig Shake, Random Effect, Angry Larry, and Armageddon Time. The first 2 to finish are safe. The second 2, the last 2 to finish, will be relegated to the Cesspool for Season 7.
Gracias a los siguientes Melvins por ayudarme con la transmisión de esta noche.
And once again, if you want to be elite, check out the website elite.angrylarrygaming.com to sign up and join the waiting list for this exclusive speedrunning esports tournament event. That does it for the semifinals. Make sure you join us next week at a special time, Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, for the conclusion of Season 6, Cesspool Finals, Elite Championship, and the relegation race. I'm Hans Buttface. We'll see you next time.
Perilla.